Sad to say, today there are thousands of abandoned children living in the streets and in the sewers of Romania. As many as 70% of these street children are addicted to glue sniffing, which numbs their hunger pangs and gives them a false sense of warmth during the cold Romanian winters. In 1994, after a lot of prayer and hard work on the streets, God opened a door of hope for us to begin a home for street boys. When we first opened the home, the boys were in terrible shape. However, today, thanks to people that generously give and pray, the boys are well on their way to becoming healthy children. At the Villa of Hope, the boys are provided with a family-like environment. They receive wonderful meals in a warm bed. The boys also receive Christian education both at home and at church, and are enrolled in public school, as well as being tutored at home. A year and a half after we opened the boys' home, even though our home was filled to capacity, we continued working on the streets and in the sewers. During this period, we encountered many hurting street girls who by this time had learned of our home for boys. Many of the girls began begging us to start a home for them. Because these street girls are especially vulnerable to all kinds of sexual abuse at a very young age, we began asking God to quickly open another door for us to begin a home for them. Today, the House of Hope for Girls is a wonderful, warm home where these former street girls can begin healing from their past abuse. Dedicated, loving staff daily teach them of God's love for them. Many who have never attended school are tutored at home or enrolled in public school and are doing very well. At the House of Hope, the girls have nightly devotions where they have a time of Bible study, singing, and prayer. We are so thankful for the progress these little girls are making. While our hearts were so encouraged by God's provision of our first two buildings, we were still overwhelmed by the many children still living on the streets, especially during the cold winters. Nightly, we would go out with food and clothing to minister to the children in the snow, yet some of them didn't survive the winter. Because we had no more beds available to take in new children, we felt desperate to have a warm place to bring children into, if only for 1 or 2 hours, to feed and clothe them. We began searching and praying for a building downtown where we could begin a rescue center, and God once again helped us acquire a small building close to where many of the street children live. Today, the Hope Rescue Center provides a warm meal, clothing, and basic first aid medical care for up to 250 children 5 days a week. The children come into the center in shifts of 25 at a time. Even though we don't have enough homes to bring these children into today, they are able to hear from the Rescue Center staff and the Bible studies and singing that they have a Heavenly Father that loves them, that is working on their behalf, and will never abandon them.